So let's get started. Let's roll our ankles a bit. So this is week 2. Take our right foot and just make a circle with your toe. Stretch it all the way out. Ooh, nice cracks and pops. Change directions. Go the other way. Nice and sunny in here today. A beautiful day. Change feet. Make a nice big circle. And change directions, go the other way. Good, let's take one leg and shake it all the way out, all the way from the hip, all the way down. Get it nice and loose. And then switch to stabilizing the upper leg, just shaking out the foot and ankle. Super loose, don't control it, just let it flop around. So I don't want to see you moving your feet like this. I want to see you just like shaking your leg, which makes your foot flop around. Change to the other side. Shake out the whole leg all the way, top down. And then isolate or stabilize the upper leg. Shake out the foot and ankle, nice and loose. Good. Shake everything out. We're going to start, same exercise we started with last week, which was nerves. So nerves, just to remind you, we're stabilizing the whole leg on this one. And this time we are using our foot and ankle muscles to tap on the floor. So we're going to flex our foot and tap just to hit our toe on the ground. And we're not using the whole leg here. So you shouldn't be feeling fatigue, well, hopefully, from going up and down. You might feel some fatigue if you're not used to doing this movement right here, but you're not using your whole leg to do this. So we're going to do 8 to the front, 8 to the side, 8 to the back. And remember, the back is kind of on a diagonal. And you can bend your leg, your standing leg, to make contact with the floor, and then 8 to the side. And then we'll change sides and do the same thing on the left. So we do singles the whole time through, and then we do doubles. So 1, 2, hold, 1, 2, hold. And then we do triples, 1, 2, 3, hold, 1, 2, 3, hold. And then we do 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll do that all the way through. So let's get started. Let's try it. Starting on the right. 5, 6, 5. Here we go.
I'm not satisfied. I want the thing that songs with the house and fade. With shit on the side. I don't want pork chops and bacon. That won't wait. My appetite inside. I want the thing that songs with the house and fade. With shit on the side. And shitty right. I will get you down. I'm gonna keep myself happy tonight. I don't want education right there. You heard what I said. Will please serve my right. I want the family songs with the heart and faith, which I find on the side. I don't want to talk the tears, let my tears. Believe me, I'm never satisfied. I want the family songs with the heart and faith, which I find on the side. I don't want that's more than I have the time inside. I want the family songs with the arms of faith, with your mother on the side. Now
So if you just started this last week, that still might feel a little awkward, and your legs might get a little stressed out a little bit, but don't worry, the more you do it, the better it's going to feel, and the less taxing it will be on your muscles. So any questions so far? Can you guys hear me okay? Very good. Okay. All right, so let's move on. So last week we started reviewing and learning for the first time for some of the new people. Some of our vocabulary. So we did steps and stamps and stomps. So let's go over some of those things, and we'll put them into kind of a monkey see, monkey do with the music. So reminder, steps are on the balls of your feet. Step, step, step. We're changing weight with a step. So you're changing to the other foot. Stamps are using your whole foot, so hitting the toe tap and the heel tap at the same time and changing weight. So stamp, whole foot. Stomps, you're making contact with the toe and the heel, but you're not changing weight, so you're staying on the same leg with a stomp. Stomps. And sometimes stomps are right in front of us a little bit, and you can bend your knees to get down into the floor a little bit more, as opposed to staying up here where I'm straight, and it's harder to reach the floor that way. If you bend, you can really get down into it. And tap in general is kind of down into the floor. All right, so we have those. Let's see what else we can put in. So we can put in heel digs. So taking the corner of your heel out in front of you and then back again. So heel dig and step. Heel, step. Heel, step. Heel, step. And we have toe stabs, which are taking the toe of your tap. So the point, you're going to point it down into the floor and a little bit on the diagonal behind you. That's a toe stab. Toe stab. And then let's see what else we can do. We can raise our toe up off the ground. So toe, toe. So raising our toe off the ground, but leaving our heel on the ground. So just make a toe sound, and then heel, leaving the ball of the foot down, and just making contact with the heels with a deliberate heel. Let's see what else we did. Well, let's leave the rest for later. Let's do those so far. Putting it together, just follow the leader kind of thing. All right, we'll start with steps on the right foot. Here we go. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. heels and toes since we didn't get to that. Let's start with our toes. Just go. Right, left, right, left, right, left. Switch to heels. Okay, any questions about any of that stuff so far? Unmuting you? Nope. All good? Okay. Okay, so next let's move on to some brushes and some flaps. So last week we talked about brushes. We brought the one leg back and we swing it forward and we make a brush. So brush, brush, brush. There should be just one sound on the way forward. Same thing on the other side. Brush, 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 brush. Good. So we can move this forward. If we had space, we would brush and step right under where our foot ends up. When we're standing in place, we're going to brush and then we're going to bring it back and step underneath ourselves. So brush, step, brush, step, brush, step, brush, step, brush, step. We can do the same thing going backwards. We have to prepare to the front. Anytime when our foot is going to move backwards and make a brush, we have to start all the way front, either with our whole leg or just our toe off the ground like this to make it small. When we go slow though, so we have time to bring it forward and then step. Brush, step, brush, step, brush, step, brush, step. When you get faster, you have to make everything smaller. So then you're going to keep it a lot smaller right underneath your body. But let's start with that. We'll start with slow brushes. After we do that with the music, though, we're going to change it into a flap. So a flap is kind of compressing that motion all the way down into the ground. So taking one foot, preparing, brush, step all at the same time. So we're going to make sure that when we brush, when we did the brush before, we kind of went way out and then we brought it back. But for the flap, we want it to go right into the ground. There's no up in the front. So try that a couple times. Flap, 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 flap. Good. We can do the same thing going backwards. So if we had room, we would travel backwards, but this time we're just going to keep it right underneath ourselves. And again, same thing as the brush. You're going to prepare to the front and go right into the floor. If you want to keep it small, don't prepare so big and bring it right underneath you, like this. It's your choice right now. If you're just beginning, then maybe keep it bigger so you can really get the motion of it. So let's try some going backwards. So prepare to the front, either way, and go lap. Okay, hopefully you're kind of getting the feeling of that. Last week, I believe we added one heel, so, or maybe we didn't, I'm not sure. But last week, so let's try flap, going to very deliberately drop that heel. And 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, 8. Sometimes this comes a little more naturally because you can actually put your heel down rather than trying to keep it up in the air if you're trying to stay on your toes. So let's try that going forward with our right foot. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, 8, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, 8. Let's try going backwards. So going backwards, you're still going to prepare to the front. And 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, 8, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, 8. Let's try that. Let's try starting with the brushes, adding the flaps, and then adding a heel to the flaps. Try it nice and slow. Nice and chill. Starting with the brush steps. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. Brush. Try going backwards. Good, you guys. We're going to practice one more thing when it comes to flaps. We're going to practice doing a flap and staying on the same foot. So we've been flapping and changing to that new foot. This time we're going to try staying on our first foot. We're going to flap with the same leg over and over again. So standing on your left leg, you're going to take your right, you're going to flap out to the front, and then you're going to pick that foot up again and try it again. So flap, 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 flap. side. So put your weight on your right leg, and with your left leg, flap out to the front, and then pick that leg up and do it again. A lap, a lap, a lap, a lap. Good. Now try with the heel. So now we're going to stay on our left leg. We're going to flap to the front, and we're going to bring our right heel down on the ground, but we're not going to transfer our weight. We're going to pick it back up. So a lap, heel, a lap, heel. Closer to your body as well. Again, the faster you go, the closer and more condensed you're going to need to make this. But you can keep this right underneath your body. And to me, this one almost feels like I'm flapping into the ground and then I'm pushing off the ground with my heel, which brings my foot up in the air. So flap, bring it up. Let's try it on the other side. So putting our weight on our right, adding that heel, flap, heel, same side, flap, heel. Try bringing it closer to your body a little bit. So first we'll just do flat. Maybe we'll do 8 on each side, and then we'll add that heel in. Try nice and slow. Starting on the right, just go flat. A lap, 6, 7, 8. Change sides. I'm going to slow it down. A little bit slower. Let's try this. A lap, heel, a lap, heel. 5, 6, starting on the right. Same side, other side. All right. You guys have any questions about that one? Because it's in the routine. Nothing. Okay.
This is only my second class.
Yes.
So up to tempo on that is hard. So I'm under tempoing it.
Gotcha. Okay. You know what? Let's try that one again then. Let's try it to an even slower tempo.
Well, maybe everybody else has been taking
No,
this
you know what? Usually if one person has trouble, you're not the only one in my experience. So let's give it a shot. Let's do this. Let's see if I have a nice. All right. So let's do this tempo. Yeah, let's try this. 6, 7, 8.
Glorious sight, what to bring London by night. I gotta be in New Orleans.
Do it before.
And you real and free when April comes to my ring. But I'd rather be in New Orleans. My Emmy's beach is inviting. New York has got this Broadway. Chicago's wind is so exciting. San Francisco's always gay. Romance is what you will want when moonlight shines in the mountain. But I'd rather be in New Orleans. And when you're saying, oh, he's old too. Extremely Memphis in June. But I'd rather be in New Orleans. And when
All right. So hopefully that helped a little bit, at least to try it at a
Great.
reasonable tempo. Good.
It feels good to learn when you're learning to have success.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm a big fan of that. Okay, any other questions? Okay. So let's move on to shuffles then. So shuffles, if you remember from last week, we have a brush forward and a brush back, and it gets put together into one thing. So when we brush forward, brush back, that's a shuffle. We can make it smaller, or we can make it swingy. So in the beginning, we tend to start swingy. So we'll practice to the music. We'll do shuffle forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward. And we'll do these, let's just do them to the front today. So we'll practice them just to the front, so facing your feet facing forward. We'll do them on both sides. And then we'll practice a faster version, which is going to be smaller and more down up. So if you lift up your knee and then go down with your foot and up. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Practice those two versions, and then we'll add some stuff. We'll maybe add like a step. We'll do shuffle, step, so changing sides every time. But let's do a slow shuffle. Shuffle, shuffle. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. Shuffle. Let's do 8 more. Change sides. 3 and a step. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, step. 1, 2, 3, step. Let's switch it to 1. Double, step. Double, step. Double, step. Let's bring it up, little. Double, step. All right, we're going to try this one again. What I want you to think about here is when you do these shuffles, try to make it come from your hip, which means that I'm not using my lower leg to power this, but instead I'm using my hip to move it up and down and have a relaxed foot and ankle that makes that shuffle happen kind of without controlling the muscle so much. So a little bit like in the beginning when we do this, we're using our hip to make the up and down, which makes the shuffle happen. All right, let's try that one more time. Thinking about that. Okay. Do you guys have any questions about that before we start our little sequence? No, maybe get a sip of water if you want to. All right. Okay. So we're going to use some of those moves in a little sequence now. And as I mentioned last week, the sequences at the end of class don't carry over, so you never have to remember them or practice them unless you want to, which is totally an excellent thing to do. So we're going to start practicing those flaps staying with our weight on one side. So a lot of this little routine has to do with weight changes and when you do them. A lot of things in tap, it really depends. It's all about the weight changes. So we're going to start with our weight on our left side, and we're going to do a lap, heel, a lap, heel on our right. We're going to do it 3 times. And if you ever want to modify these, like the simple version of this would be just to do a flap. So if you want to keep it to the bare minimum, do that. If you want to try to heel, a lap, heel, a lap, heel, a lap, heel, then do that. Here's the trick though, because you guys all just practiced the flap heel for a bunch of times all on one side. We're going to do it 3 times, and on the 3rd time, you're going to change your weight. So 1, 2, 3, you're going to put your weight on your right side. So that 3rd one is when you're going to change. Let's try it nice and slow. Weight on the left, flapping with the right. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, think I forgot to mute you. There we go. Okay, try one more time. Starting on the right side. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, and 2, and 3. Good. After that, you're going to touch your left foot down. Touch meaning you're not going to put your weight on it. It's just like a placeholder where you're going to touch the ground and stay with your weight on your right. Because the next thing you're going to do is start on your left side. So let's try adding the touch on the end. So it's going to look like this. 1, 2, 3, touch. Let's try 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, and 2, and 3, touch. One more time. And once again, if you want to do this with flaps, it's totally the same. Okay, let's try it. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, and 2, and 3, touch. Let's give the other side a try. It's going to be the same thing. 1, and 2, and 3. Change your weight. Touch. Let's try on the left again. So your weight's on your right. 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, and 2, and 3. Change your weight. Touch. Good. When I do this too, I have a real feeling of rocking forward. So rock, forward, and rock, forward, and rock, forward, touch. You don't have to do it that way. And if I keep it underneath me, it's not as much. It's probably when I do it super slow that it feels like you should do something. So, feel free to put in your own thing if you want to try that. Let's try it back to back. So we'll do right, left, right. Here we go. Starting on the right. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go left, heel, go left, heel, go left, heel, touch. Now left. Now right. Good. Let's try that again a little bit slower. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go left, heel, go left, heel, go left, heel, touch. Again. Go left, heel, go left, heel, go left, heel, touch. Again. Go left, heel, go left, heel, go left, heel, touch. Good. From there, you're just going to do 4 flat heels. So starting on the left. Go left, heel, go left, heel. So those you're changing weight every time. You're back to like the normal alternating flat heels. Okay, let's try the whole thing one time without music, and then we'll do a nice slow music. Here we go. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go left, heel, go left, heel, go left, heel, touch. Again, go left, and left. Change your weight. Touch right. Now right, right, and right, and right. Change your weight. Now left, left, and right, and left, and right. Good. If you're like me, when you get slow, it's hard to keep your balance. So think about using the center of your body to drive all of your motion and keeping your weight forward on the balls of your feet. So when I'm losing my weight, it's usually because I'm like teetering one way or the other. If you put your weight forward, that's going to help you catch your balance. So let's try this with a song, and I will slow down the song. The song sounds drunk. Okay. Ooh, that's it. Here we go. 5, 6. we'll do it again at that super slow drum speed. When you're done with your 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you're going to repeat that whole thing, but starting on the left. So you'll do this whole business 3 times, and then you'll do your 4 single flap heels. All right, let's try it. Here we go. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Left side. All right, we have to slow it, or we have to speed it up a little bit. Let's try it again. Here we go. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is full speed. Here we go. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, you guys, let's check in. How is it going?
Good.
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 Some
Good.
goods, some touching of faces, which is always like, I'm panicking right now.
Oh, no. It's good. It's good.
No, okay.
I'm glad you can't see my feet.
I'm guessing the speed probably is the most challenging thing because were you guys all getting it when it was drunk speed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
But
when you get faster.
I like it when you go faster too.
Oh, okay. Good.
You like
yeah, it's easier to balance.
yes.
Definitely easier to balance when you're going faster.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, if the speed is ever a problem, remember keep it small, and that's going to help you. And sometimes keeping your movements, like those fine movements when you're trying to go fast, are challenging in the very beginning because you're not used to it yet. You're still kind of getting your footing as far as how your feet are supposed to move and how your ankles are supposed to move. So speed can be a challenge, but keep at it. It will come with time for sure. Okay, so let's move on to the next thing then. As you know, the first part is always hardest. After that, it gets easier. So the next part, we just did 1, 2, 3, 4. Our right leg is free. We're going to do, again, we're going to practice keeping our weight on one side. So we're going to shuffle on the right and then stab. So shuffle, stab, shuffle, stab, shuffle, stab. This is all keeping your weight on your left side. weight on our right, we're going to shuffle on our left. Shuffle, stab, shuffle, stab, shuffle, stab, shuffle, stab. 4 more times. Good. So we're going to do this 3 times on each side with a step in between. So we're going to do 1 and 2 and 3. Step. Now we're set up to start on our left side. So 1, 2, 3. Change sides. Again. 1, 2, 3. Change sides and left. 1, 2, 3. Change sides. You're going to do that 4 times, exactly the same, right, left, right, left. If there are people who want an extra challenge, and I'm not going to do this when I demonstrate, but I'm going to give you an option if you want, you can, instead of the step, do a flat ball change. And again, I'm not going to show this to everyone because if you know how to do a flat ball change and you've been doing this a while, you'll know how to do this. Just add that in instead of a step. But the rest of you, we're just going to do shuffle, stab, shuffle, stab, shuffle, stab, step. You'll have a little bit more time to prepare for the next side. Let's try this a little bit faster without the music. Starting on our right, our weight is on our left. Here we go. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Shuffle, stab, shuffle, stab, shuffle, stab, step. Shuffle, stab, shuffle, stab, shuffle, stab, step. Again. 1, 2, 3. Change sides. 1, 2, 3. Change sides. Good. Let's do that one more time. 5, 6, 5, 6. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Change sides. 1, 2, 3. Good. All right, we're going to add this on. So to practice the transition between the 2 sections, we're going to do the last part, which was 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to go right into shuffle stab. Okay, so our last 4 flat heels where we change every time. Here we go, starting on the right. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, and 2, and 3. Now shuffle. Shuffle, stab, shuffle, stab, shuffle, stab, stab. Good. Let's do that transition again. So we're practicing here. We're going to change sides, right? We're changing to our right. We're changing to our left. We're changing to our right. We're changing to our left. And then we're staying with our weight on our left for a few times. Okay, let's try it. Starting on our right. 5, 6, 5, 6, a flat heel. Right, left, right, left, shuffle. Yeah, okay. Good. Let's practice with music. From the beginning. 5, 6, flat heel. questions. Anything?
Yeah, you mentioned a YouTube-y thingy that I didn't hear in the beginning of the class. Are these on YouTube after?
Yeah, they are. I record them and I put the whole class on YouTube, and then I clip out just the routine at the end. If you just want to see the routine, that's a separate clip.
Oh, cool. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Is that on your, is the
The
link
link
on
is
your,
in the chat.
in the chat? Okay.
Yep.
Super. Thank you.
Cool.
You
All
can
right.
also just go to Lindy Maine's YouTube channel and find it.
Yeah, you can do it.
Oh, okay. Lindy Maine?
There's a playlist that has all the online classes if you go to Lindy Maine on YouTube. Yeah.
All right, super. Thanks.
Okay, let's do the last part. So we're gonna do some, I can't remember if we did this last week or not. The weeks are starting to blend together. We're gonna do a little brush. So a brush is kind of like, a scuff. A brush is what we did earlier where we're tapping the toe tap on the floor as we go forward. Scuff is what we're gonna tap the heel tap on the floor going forward. So let's just try a couple of those. So step right, change weight. Step left, change weight. Right, left, right, left, right, left. So if you don't have tap shoes on, you're just going to use your heel to touch the floor just the same way. And we're going to add a little direction to this. So when we scuff, we're going to make it go in a circle. Scuff, step, scuff, step. So we're just making a little circle with our foot out front. It's not going to be that big because of the speed of the music. We're going to be going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's try that. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're actually going to do 7. At the end, we're going to do 3 steps. 7, step, 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 with a little different rhythm. Let's try it, starting on the right. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, step, step, step. Let's do that again. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, step, step, step. Okay, the rhythm of those last 3 steps, it goes with the music. Watch it once, and then you guys can try it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5. Let's try it. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5. Yeah. If you want, you can add some little twists in there. That's up to you. You can always keep it right underneath you. But if you want to do the twist, you'd be twisting towards the right first. Right, left, right. Try that once. Right, left, right. Again. Right, left, right. Again. Right, left, right. Yeah. Let's add that onto the scuffs. Here we go. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5. Yeah, good. Let's just practice this part. If I can find it in the music. I think I can. Okay, so I had to rhythm a little bit weird. I think I might have had it a little bit faster. Listen to that part one more time. Let's try it again. 5, you feeling it? Are you getting that rhythm, hopefully? Okay, so we're just one tiny part after this before we're finished up. So you just did da, da, da. Our weight is on our right side mostly. We're going to do something called a paddle turn. So a paddle turn is where we're going to keep our weight on our right side, again, with some weight change things. So we're keeping our weight on our right side, and we're going to use our left side to paddle ourselves around. So we're just kind of taking our leg in front with our left and pushing our body around, so we're rotating or pivoting on our right foot. And in tap, when we do this, we push with our left, and then we do a heel on the right. Push left, heel right. Push left, heel right. Push left, heel right. Let's try on the left side, or I don't know how you want to call this. We're traveling to the left. We're on our left leg, but we're paddling with our right now. So we're going to use our right leg to push ourselves forward, heel left. Push right, heel left. Push right, heel left. Push right, heel left. Push, step. Paddle, step. Paddle, step. Good. So this paddle turn, we're going to start paddling with our left, going to the right. And it's going to be 4 counts. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. After the third paddle, you're going to change your weight to your left foot. So try that on the, I don't know how you want to call this. Paddling with our left. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. Paddle, 2, 3, step left. Good. Try that one more time. 5, 6, 7, 8. Paddle, 2, 3, step left. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So now we're going to paddle with our right leg. Paddle, 2, 3, step left. And that is the end of the thing. So try it one more time on that second side. So with our paddling with our right. Here we go. Paddle, heel. Paddle, heel. Paddle, heel, step. Good. One more time on that side. So paddling with our right. 5, 6, 7, 8. Paddle, 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 step. Yeah, good. Okay, let's try that whole section. So it's going to be from this, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, paddle, 2, 3, step, paddle, 2, 3, step. Let's try with music. Slow music, but still with the music. Yeah, from the stop. 5, 6, other side. Yeah, one more time. Same spot. So, 5, 6, 5, 6. Quiet editing. Let's do that same place, but up to speed. 5, 6, All right. So the tricky thing about that ending is after the 7-1, it's really quick to get that foot down for your first step because of the rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5. So you gotta have speedy feet on that part. All right, let's try the whole thing from the beginning. You can do it. I believe in you. Remember flat heel. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. One more time, full speed. Here we go. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, good job, you guys. How did it go?
I'm sweating. That was great.
Good, good. Yeah,
Really fun. Thank you.
good. As
Can
usual.
I ask one question,
Yeah,
Jen?
sure.
If you don't mind going back to that little, when you put in the extra shuffleable change.
Oh,
Can you just tell me, when you do the ball change, what the foot order is? Like you were doing the shuffle with your right foot.
Yeah.
You do shuffle.
You talking about the added part that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't see you though. I can't see you. No, okay.
You can't see. Oh, hold on.
So it's switched.
I think you have to put everybody on mute, maybe.
Okay, how about now? Okay, so the thing was, the extra was 1, 2, 3, and then flat ball change, right, left, right. Your left leg is still free at the end. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So, remember what somebody said at the end about staying or ending on a on a successful note?
No, I'm just going to practice it.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I just don't want you to get frustrated at the very end after you guys just did awesome.
Yeah, we're good.
But yeah, cool.
Yeah, we're all good.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, the other extra thing you can add in if you really are looking for more juicy goodness is if you want, you can add that in. So let me mute you so you can see all that. So for this one, so adding from this basic one, you can add heels. And I reverse the heels on the last one. That's your extra credit. I'll put those on the YouTubes if you guys want to practice something extra.